Hey, what's going on, fam? So another quick video about Jay Morrison. Also, to let y'all know, my next video is going to be about Byron Allen. I know a couple of weeks ago, I posted about the fact that he lost his Supreme Court case, and I said I was going to be making a video about it soon. And I did intend to, but I just kind of got distracted. Like I said, I've told y'all before, I work a regular job. I don't make any money from YouTube. Plus just my life. I have a spouse, a partner I live with, um, things like that. So uh, I just got distracted with life, basically, long story short, and I just never really got around to making the video as soon as I wanted to. So my apologies, fam, for making. It seemed like I was going to release the video sooner than I actually did, as far as the Byron Allen video, but that is coming up next. I did temporarily think about combining my Byron Allen video with this Jay Morrison video, but then I thought it might be too long of a video, so I just said I'm going to make two different videos for each guy. So that's that. That's expect that next. That's just a quick update. Also, I know I'm slightly late on this Jay Morrison video, but anyway, here we go. So as y'all know, Jay Morrison, um, his fund, he announced that he was closing down his fund and not taking any more new investors, and it's not looking good. I mean, he made some excuses about how he got bad advice from experts, which is a real red flag to me because Jay Morrison made sure to implicate himself as the key man in the fund, meaning that the TREF Tulsa Real Estate Fund, meaning that if he left the fund for any reason, the business would fall apart. And to me, that's suspect that you will, because a key man is supposed to be an employee that's so crucial to the business that if he leaves, everything falls apart. That's what a key man is. Now, it's a little bit more complex than that, but that's basically what a key man is. And the fact that you would list yourself as a key man, meaning that you're so vital to the business that if you leave, everything falls apart and everybody loses their money, how are you then relying on experts to tell you how to invest the money? Like, that doesn't add up. Jay, you're the key man. You're supposed to be the expert. You present yourself as the real estate mogul. That's literally what you present yourself as. Real estate mogul. So how is it that you need advice on how to invest money in real estate so that it's profitable? And how are you so inexperienced that you not only would need advice in the first place, but that you could also get bad advice and not realize it was bad advice and not follow it? Like, it does not add up at all, Jay. And I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Um, and I don't know if y'all can hear the train. I'm gonna keep talking through it, but I don't know if y'all can hear the train horn in the background. But if you do, my apologies for the distraction. Hopefully y'all can't hear it. I don't think y'all can hear it, but I can hear the shit and it's loud as hell. But hopefully y'all can't. But anyway, um, again, Jay, how are you the key man when you need advice from experts? Like, it doesn't add up. But there were warnings out there. I want to give credit to Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore for being one of the main people, especially in this um, activism, social media activism, whatever you want to call it, space. They were a black activism space, that is. Um, they were really the only people that I know that were raising concerns about it in that space, but they were not the only black people. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post an article um, from Minority TV Report. That's the website.com, I believe, and it's a sister who was raising concerns about the fund also. So there were other people other than Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore that were raising concerns, but they were some of the main people. So I give them props for that. However, back to Jay Morrison, there were signs that this was not going to be a good deal. Jay Morrison did a lot of Richie Rich swaggy swag presentation of the fund, promotional videos that showed him stepping out of a Rolls Royce, and even in the article I'm going to post in the description box, the sister described it like this looked more like a rap video than an investment video, because it just showed Jay getting out of a Rolls Royce, walking into a mansion, all these delusions of grandeur that we know is not going to happen. There's not going to be just this real estate fund that's going to make everybody a multimillionaire or a billionaire. Like, that's not going to happen. So, Jay, you showing yourself flossing as if so that black people could live vicariously through you, because, we love living vicariously. That's why we voted for Obama. We love living vicariously through other people. So you played on that, Jay Morrison, and stepped out of made it basically, like the sister says in the article, made a rap video that shows, that's part of one of many things that shows that you were not really serious. Other red flags were the fact that he had no real estate portfolio to present. He gave all he did was claim that he was successful in real estate, but he would never actually present projects that he's owned or projects that he's converted and that into highly successful, profitable properties. He has none of this, no prospectus, no portfolio showing what either he's done in the past or things that the fund already had in the works, like assets that they already own, which is normally what a real estate fund does have. They normally have assets that they already own that they're able to show you, hey, look, this is our portfolio of properties. We're making XYZ money off of this every month. They have a portfolio. Or a prospectus is what it's called. One of those two things. I'm not a real estate expert, but just from what I've read and reading about this, what's basically amounted to a scam operation, I've learned a little bit about real estate, but I'm not an expert. But anyway, again, this sister does appear to have some expertise in it, so I would recommend reading her article as far as getting a good idea of a lot of the red flags and why she chose not to invest in the fund ahead of time. Family, I just want y'all to know, or the reason why I'm addressing this is because Jay Morrison, he gained the trust of a lot of black people, and we need to learn from this, because I've fallen for people who've turned out to be scammers in the past, like an Umar Johnson. But what black people need to understand is that just because someone speaks pro-black, shows up at rallies, at protests, calls themselves Young Malcolm, even though he's already the same age or older than Malcolm X was when he died. So there's no old Malcolm walking around. So how are you a young Malcolm? The only way you could be a young Malcolm is if you are younger than Malcolm X was when he died, but you're not. But anyway, just because someone calls themselves a young Malcolm or shows up at protests and does some good talking, hell, DeRay shows up at protests. Does that mean that we should trust him? Anybody who really understands white supremacy knows that you should not. And for me personally, it has nothing to do with the fact that he's gay. I know some people, obviously, it does bother them that he's gay, he's homosexual. But for me, it has nothing to do with the fact that he's gay as to why he should not be trusted. But again, just because DeRay McKesson shows up at protests, does that mean that we should automatically trust him and follow him as someone who's really going to lead us in the right direction as far as toppling white supremacy? No, it does not. That's the answer. Just in case y'all was wondering, that's the answer. Same thing with Jay Morrison. We have to understand that, unfortunately, there are a lot of black people who see the fact that we suffer under white supremacy as an opportunity to exploit us. I've talked about people like Brother Polite and other people, and again, this doesn't mean that we should be suspicious of all of our people, but that's exactly my problem. Is that for those of us who are actually speaking because we actually want to see an end to white supremacy, and we actually are doing what we're doing because we genuinely want to see the end of white supremacy, versus those who see white supremacy and the fact that black people suffer from it as an opportunity to exploit black people even further. And we have to understand that. And what I don't want, as someone who is genuinely speaking for the liberation of black people from white supremacy, what I don't want is for black people to lose trust in people like me because of people like Jay Morrison. Because every time, what they start to get used to is every time they hear somebody talking pro-black, that person turns out to be a scammer. And I don't want that stigma on us. So that's why I have to speak on Jay Morrison. Jay Morrison intentionally capitalizes on the fact that black people suffer from white supremacy in order to try to turn that into a profit for himself and exploit us and give us promises of riches that he knows we're not going to reach. The only person who's going to reach it is him. That's why he gives you a video, basically a music rap video promoting what's supposed to be a professional fund to promote. That's what he gives you to promote what's supposed to be a professional fund, is a music rap video of him, not of you, of him getting out of a Rolls Royce, of him walking into a mansion, because it's all about him, and it was always all about him. And now you see the results. Oh, it went bad because experts gave me bad advice. But Jay, you're supposed to be the expert. All your articles tell us how you a power couple. You supposed to be the expert. You one half of that power couple, Jay. You a real estate mogul. How the hell did you get bad advice? And how the hell, if you did get bad advice, how the hell were you not expert enough yourself to realize that that was bad advice and not follow that bad advice? But I suspect that you never got bad advice, Jay. I suspect that these experts are phantom experts, and the only person who was managing the fund was you and your homies, and y'all didn't know what you was doing. You was pillaring the fund for personal use, plundering it for personal use, and now you realize that you done spent up damn near probably 50% or more of the fund's money on yourself and your homies for y'all's quote unquote salaries. And now you don't have enough money to really turn the rest of the money into a profit, nor do you have the real know-how. That's why you had to hire experts who I suspect, I don't know if they're real or not, but I suspect that they're not even real, that there are no such experts, that the experts are him and his homies. And he's making it seem like there's these outside people he brought in. And if I'm lying, tell them to name names. Which experts? What's the name of the expert? So black people in the future will know not to do business with this expert. What's the name of the experts, Jay? Since these experts gave you bad advice and it wasn't really your fault. What's the name of the expert so that the rest of us, know not to do business with that expert, to not go to that expert for advice, since he screwed you and hundreds, thousands of other black people. Who is he? Or she or her? Name the expert. Drop a name, Jay. But I suspect that the expert does not exist. That's just me. But anyway, fam, I don't want to spend too long on this. But we should learn a lesson from the Jay Morrison situation. We should learn to do more due diligence when black people are asking us, when black people will take the fight from anti-white supremacy activism over to give me money. And it's one thing if they want money for an actual product. They're giving you a DVD and it's actually a DVD that you want and you think is worth whatever money they ask for. That's not a scam. You're paying for a product. You paid for a DVD, you got the DVD. But when they're asking you for stuff that sounds like a big fantastical dream, you really need to take a second look into the person before you decide to give any money. You really need to double and triple check that person's credentials. Double and triple check that person's history of success in similar projects. And if you cannot find a history of success, maybe you shouldn't be investing in them. Especially when they're asking you for something that you cannot tangibly, they're asking you for money for something that you're not going to basically immediately receive your product, or receive your product in short order. And I mean like a year or less, because I understand with these DVDs, people do crowdfunds, and then it takes like a year or sometimes 2 or 3 years to make the actual documentary. But when you got people trying to build schools, and they're going to have all these fantastical classes, and they need $2 million, $3 million to build this great, wonderful school for black kids, and it doesn't seem realistic that they're going to be able to raise that type of money, nor get the type of enrollment and buy-in from black people that they need to make that type of school a reality. Hell, even LeBron James needed corporate backers to make his school. Or are people telling you that you're gonna invest into a fund, and the fund is not focused on practicality? Hey, you're gonna make an extra $100 a month from this, but it helps and it gives you ownership, instead of being realistic, because that's a realistic kind of investment. If $100, that's kind of unrealistic, that you're gonna make an investment that's gonna consistently make you an extra 100. Even that's kind of unrealistic, but it's way more realistic than a promotional video of Jay Morrison getting out of a Rolls Royce, walking into a mansion. What does that have to do with my investment? Are you really trying to sell me on the fact that I'm going to be getting out of a mansion? I mean, out of a Rolls Royce and walking into a mansion because I invested with you? These are the kind of scams we have to be aware of, and we really need to be aware when black people convert anti-white supremacy activism over into pay me. And again, it's one thing if it's a DVD that's meant to educate you further about white supremacy. Obviously, it takes work and money to go into the DVD, so those people deserve to be compensated for their time and effort, and even, yes, make a profit off of their time and effort for education. But all of this stuff where, oh, I'm going to make you richer, there's no promise that if you buy a lot of these DVDs, Hidden Colors, whatever other DVD you want to think of, people want to call, the maker of Hidden Colors a scammer, and whatever. You may have your reasons, but at the end of the day, the man is not promising you that you're going to be richer because you watched a Hidden Colors DVD. There's no promise that you're going to make an extra $500 a month because you bought a Hidden Colors DVD. With Jay Morrison, you are getting that. And those are the kind of things that make it more obvious that it's a scam. And again, it's not the only thing that makes it obvious that it's a scam, but it's one of the things that make it more obvious. But at the end of the day, we as black people, we need to have a better intuition. We need to have a better sixth sense, and we need to know what's realistic and what's not. And we need to look at how people present themselves, and realize how unprofessional it is. And be able to say, hey, I don't want to do business with you because you're just not a professional person. Black or not, you're just not professional. I'm sorry. I don't want my real estate manager or hedge fund manager giving me rap dream videos. I want you to be realistic with me, because most people are not. Unless you are investing large amounts of money, you are not going to make large amounts of money off investing most of the time. In very rare situations, people get lucky, but most of the time you don't. But anyway, fam, I don't want to make this video any longer than I have. It's already gone on longer than I intended. So that's another video. Like, share, subscribe, and peace.